screen and I got a 3. Look at that, stopping. In my face. Like, look at that. He's in my face and that should be contested.
Literally, just shoot the ball with him. Just shoot.
The day was March 4th, 2022. A date that NBA 2K22 MYTEAM players will never forget. On this day, 2K dropped their weekly promo, the 5th signature series set of the year, and at first glance, it looked like just another solid content drop. Some nice names, some usable cards, nothing too crazy, or so we thought, because hidden inside that set was a card that would completely change the MYTEAM landscape for the rest of the year. A card so dominant that people still talk about it to this day. That card was the cover athlete himself, Dark Matter Luka Doncic. Now let's rewind a little bit and talk about the actual set itself. Signature Series 5 was honestly a pretty good promo. Now we saw the release of Galaxy Opal David Robinson, who was an elite big man at the time, with great defense and athleticism. We got Pink Diamond Kyle Korver, one of the best pure shooters in the game, and Pink Diamond Hito Turkoglu, a fan favorite point forward who always finds it into people's squads. So yeah, this set was solid, but when people saw Luka as the headliner, the community reaction was surprisingly calm, and that was because early in the year, Luka cards really weren't anything special. Before the drop, Luka wasn't really known as a game-breaking card in 2K22. He had a New Year's Galaxy Opal that was decent, nothing insane. His movement felt a little stiff, his dribble style wasn't elite, and his jump shot on normal speed wasn't anything to write home about. So when people first saw Dark Matter Luka, a lot of players thought, okay, he'll probably be good, but not meta changing. Nobody expected what was about to happen. And then, people checked the animations.
50 dribble style. And Luka on very quick.
And this is where everything changed. When players went into 2KDB and looked at Luka's jump shot, the entire community froze. 2K had given Luka his own custom release on very quick. And this was a huge, because this was the first time all year that a player had their release sped up to very quick. No one knew what to expect. People didn't even know if it would be usable. But once players actually got into games, it became clear almost immediately. This card was different. Now in this promo, 2K released 3 versions of Luka. The standard Dark Matter, the signature Luka, and the Power Then Hero Luka. The differences weren't massive, but they mattered. The signature Luka added Hall of Fame Dimer, while the Power Then version went further, adding Hall of Fame Dimer and Downhill, obviously making the Hero version the best, but besides from that, nothing else. Downhill and Dimer don't really make that big of a change to a card, so it didn't really matter what version you had. The core of the card, anyway, was completely broken. As soon as people started pulling Luka and running unlimited, rumors spread like wildfire. People were saying this card was, quote, uncontestable, and at first, that sounded like an exaggeration. But it wasn't. For some reason, Luka's jump shot would register as open in situations where any other card in the game would get a 30% to 40% contest. Defenders could be right in his face, and it didn't matter. The shots would still be wide open. And once players realized this, it was over. Now, Luka didn't have the most glitchy dribble signatures in the game. He wasn't out here moving like a tiny guard, but it didn't matter, because all you needed was one snatchback. That's it. One snatchback. One slight bit of space, and Luka was pulling from deep with a lightning fast release that defenders simply couldn't react to. You didn't need any fancy combos, you didn't need skill dribble moves. Luka turned simple offense into guaranteed points. And the craziest part, his jump shot was better than some of the most notorious releases in the game. When jump shots like Base 3 and Set Shot 25 rolled around, they were considered some of the best, hardest to guard releases in 2K22. But Luka's release still ran miles around both. Even Endgame Wilt that shared the Luka Doncic base with a even more glitchy upper just didn't have that same effect Luka had. It was only the mix of the Luka base and upper that had this unguardable ability. It was faster, smoother, and somehow harder to contest. The green window felt massive, and even slightly mistimed shots would still go in. The only way to stop him was to physically block the shot or just hope your opponent missed. And most of the time, they didn't. If you want proof of how broken this card was, just look at gameplay from creators like Ty Debo, DBG, and Henry during that time. Luka was everywhere. Every game looked the same. Snatchback, green, repeat. And to make things even crazier, this card dropped just days before the 250k MYTEAM tournament. That meant everyone who was serious about competing had to run Luka. No Luka, you were instantly at a disadvantage. Simple as that. By the time the tournament rolled around, everyone and their mother had Dark Matter Luka in their team. And if you didn't, good luck keeping up. Dark Matter Luka Doncic wasn't just a good card, he was a turning point. He changed how releases were viewed, how contests work, and how the meta was played for the rest of NBA 2K22. To this day, when people talk about the most broken MYTEAM cards ever, Luka's name is always near the top of the list. And honestly, he's earned it. But what do you think? Was Dark Matter Luka the most overpowered card in 2K history? Or have we seen something even crazier since then? Or even before then? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe. Let me know what card I should do a MYTEAM history lesson on next. My plans is on 2K21 Bulbo. I'll be doing these weekly. But let me know in the comments if there's any other cards, and I'll try my best to view over them and do a video on them. And I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace.